All right, this is, I've been looking forward to this for a long fucking time. Long time. And it was nerve-wracking today, to say the least. I couldn't figure out how much weed to smoke in advance because I wanted to be crisp for this, but at the same time, I'm going out of my skull because I saw this movie when I was 14 years old. And from that moment forward, I wanted to join the Breakfast Club tonight. Thanks to one omission, I can, you know? For tonight only, I'm standing in for the jock. Believe it or not. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a night that the 14-year-old version of me would absolutely love, and I just wish I could jump in a time machine, go back and fucking confront him and tell him, like, you're watching this movie now, you know, but one day, you're gonna be up on stage with that cast, you're gonna get to know them, you're gonna get to know one of your biggest heroes, John Hughes, and I'm sure the 14-year-old version of me would say, well, how the fuck did we get so fat? Like, fuck the Breakfast Club, what happened? Did you eat the Breakfast Club? Like, and I'd be like, hey man, that's uncalled for, you know, it's cool, later on people accept fat people, like bullshit, you know? And I was like, I'm never coming back in time again, I fucking left. I love John Hughes, and I think that's kind of apparent from the flicks that we've done in the past. If you're unfamiliar with the stuff I've done, let me just make it very simple by saying the fourth movie I did, which almost got me killed by a bunch of religious extremists, was predicated on two stoners looking for Shermer, Illinois. So I think that qualifies me to be here. What I loved best about John Hughes, who was a man I never met and didn't know, but was hugely influenced by, vastly influenced by, is Hughes did his own thing at all given points. Look at his body of work, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't look like anybody else's at the time or even now. It stands apart. And even as a 14-year-old, long before I ever knew that I wanted to try an attempt to make movies and fail at it, I knew a style, like I knew John Hughes films. You could take the credits off and I would have known him. Naturally, a lot of the same faces and whatnot, but it was the tone of the things he did. John Hughes knew exactly how to speak to us. I know people must get tired of hearing that after 25 years, but it's true. There's no other way to put it. John Hughes kind of gave us all something to do in the 80s and something to emulate and try to be, and not just the characters that we saw on the screen, but for some of us, he was the guy that we wanted to be, the person that we kind of wanted to emulate, and it's, after 25 years, it's nice to be kind of standing here and citing a guy without whom I wouldn't be standing here and talking about the guy. So he's not here tonight, obviously, but if we had a bottle, I would tip it for him right now, because without him, we wouldn't be here tonight. That's John Hughes. I love the Breakfast Club so much. Here's how much, just to kind of give you a kind of background for where I'm coming from it. I'm sorry, I sweat when I breathe. When I was a kid, I paid to see the Breakfast Club 4 times in a theater with my own money. Now, that may not sound like a big deal now, but back then, that was fucking huge. Granted, I snuck into it 4 more times and didn't pay. I paid to see other movies instead, and then basically left that theater and went to see another flick. And it was The Breakfast Club over and over and over again. I was so enthusiastic about this flick that I went into my video store right after seeing the movie, and I was like, I want to put my name on a reserve list. And they were like, what is a reserve list? Hadn't been invented yet, you know? And I was just like, I want to be the first guy to be able to rent this movie when it comes out. Now, in those days, a movie would come out and it wouldn't be on video for like a year or something like that. Now a movie comes out, for example, I had a movie called Cop Out come out back in February, and it was on video in March. So, and I think that's because it was so popular. Back then, it wasn't like that. You waited a long time for a movie to come on VHS, or in my family, sadly, Beta. So, put my name on that list, and I said, as soon as this movie comes out, I want a first copy. And I would come in, and I followed that shit, so I knew the movie wasn't coming out, but every time I went back in the store, I was like, am I still at the top of the list? They're like, you are the list. So I was working at Long John's, a restaurant not affiliated with the fast food joint. It's a kind of classy restaurant in Highlands, New Jersey. They made popovers, very famous for their popovers. They're long since gone. The popovers weren't very good. I was working there as a busboy, and my mother called me. I got a call from the manager going like, your mother's on the phone in the kitchen. You're not supposed to get personal calls. So I ran to the kitchen because I thought maybe my grandma died or something like that. That'd be the only reason she'd call me at work. And my mother goes, that fucking movie. The one you've been asking about for a year? Video Movie House just called, it's in. And I was like, Jesus, that's awesome. She's like, when you leave work, you can pick it up. So I hung up the phone and I was like, I ain't waiting until the end of work. And I went out to my boss and I was like, this is my mother. My grandmother died. I have to go home. In those days, I'd kill my grandmother off once a week, you know? Good fucking excuse. So I went home, I picked up the tape, went home, watched it. Not only did I watch it, I'm ashamed to, I'm not ashamed to admit, it got me where I am. I bootlegged it as well. I called a friend over, wasn't easy in those days. You know, back now you just press a button and bootleg the movie and shit, or some robot will do it for you. Back in my day, you had to call up one of the only other 10 people on the planet that had a VCR and be like, can you and 4 friends carry it to my house? So I might make a copy of this movie that I fucking love so much, and that was then. Now let me take you to 25 years later, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a filmmaker, a very sweaty one apparently. I have my own little universe, just like John Hughes had his Hughes-averse. I created my own little universe in memory of John Hughes. He did it first, and I wanted to do it too. All those movies were interconnected. Most of them set in Sherman, Illinois, if not all of them. And that captured my imagination. I was like, oh my God, Ferris Bueller with no Claire. Maybe he could fuck her for the first time, you know? He's pretty charming, much easier with the women than Bender was. I'm what they might call at this stage of the game a professional. I've been doing what I do now for a living 16 fucking years. That does kind of make me a professional. When you're a professional, you let go of childish things, you let go of the passions of youth, and you know, as Ali said, your heart probably dies. I said bullshit to that. I got a call from Scott Foundas to say, hey man, we're doing this Breakfast Club screening. It's gonna happen September 20th. And you know, I just about fucking passed out because I was like, I can't wait to go, man. I want to see you on a big screen. He's like, why don't you get up, talk to the cast afterwards? I fucking passed out for 10 minutes. And when I came to, I called Scott back and I was like, I would love to do this, man. What's the date? He's like, September 20th. And I looked at my calendar and I was literally supposed to start shooting my new film on September 20th. So I said, Scott, hold on, put him on hold. Called up my producer on the flick and I was like, we have to stall by 2 days. Our start date, he goes, what are you fucking kidding me? It took us this long to find money. Why are we stalling? I was just like, because I'm gonna go do a screening of the Breakfast Club where I get to sit down and talk to the fucking cast afterwards. And there was dead silence, and he goes, you're a terrible filmmaker, do you know that? I said, but I'm all heart. He goes, yeah, all right, go fucking do it. So 25 years later, this movie has the impact on me to put an entire production on hold for 2 days just so I could fly out here, do this, and then fly back and start the movie. But to really show you how much I love the Breakfast Club, a lot of people probably don't know this. A couple months back, had a small dust up with the airlines. Because of that, I've stopped flying entirely. In fact, I went and bought a bus. Now I just roam the earth in a bus. Shit. Got divorced from the sky. But I couldn't be able to drive the bus out here and do the screening and get back in time, so it put me to a decision. Like, I literally had to decide whether or not I was gonna get on a plane. And I had to write the thought down because I was on the plane. Only for a man I never met who's not gonna be in attendance do I fucking fly to New York. And in New York speak, I believe that makes me a Carrie. However, in Sherman, Illinois speaks, that makes me a fucking John Bender, bitch, because I left shit behind to come here and fucking drop science with people. I can't wait to do this. Let's get to them, because enough about fucking me. Just to let you know, we're gonna talk about this movie, concentrate right on this movie, and also concentrate on John Hughes. It's gonna be all about them. Hopefully this is the last time you'll hear me talking, because I, like you, I'm gonna get everyone seated, then I'm gonna sit in the audience, and hopefully they'll interview themselves. No, I'm just kidding. I'll be up here asking them questions, but I'm gonna be enjoying it as much as you guys. So if I start to fall silent, that's why. I'm just kind of enraptured, as much as you'll be. Breakfast Club helped shape an entire generation, and its truth concentrate in every way. As I rewatched tonight, I saw that it is absolute truth, with the exception of one sequence. I just want to throw it out there for any of the kids in the audience who are watching the movie tonight and correct a misnomer. If you smoke weed, you don't dance. Particularly not that vitriolically. And the only time you're going to shatter a window is so you can reach in and get more weed. So let's say hi to 4 people who are more than just actors, ladies and gentlemen. They're more than just a brain and a basket case and a princess and a criminal. They are the best friends that most of us never had, and I would say by 25 years in, they're fucking family. Let's bring them up and say hi, shall we? Ladies first, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Ali Sheedy. Oh shit, she beat me to it. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Molly Ringwald. Give it up for Anthony Michael Hall. I got it. And of course, give it up for my man, Judd Nelson. Okay, I have a list of fucking things to get to and ask you guys about. And I have it handy. Okay, this is a night celebrating a genius who's not with us anymore. You all knew the deceased. You can all speak about him eloquently, so please tell us, what was Emilio like before he died? Anybody? What the fuck did you guys do to Emilio Estevez, man? He just couldn't be fucking bothered. We tried to come out. I was like, I ain't going near those cats. Based on the movie, I thought he was the tough guy.
I think, of the Brat Pack. He's the Greta Garbo.
Is
he
that
wants
what it
to
is?
be alone.
Was he the diva of the bunch?
He might be working on Mighty Ducks 5. We don't.